strange thing about Adam is that, despite being born into the royal family of Eternia, he never wanted to be a warrior. He hated fighting. While other kids were learning how to handle weapons and preparing for battle, Adam would rather spend his time with his pet tiger, Cringer, and stay as far away from combat training as possible. What Adam didn't know was that his entire life had been tied to an ancient prophecy, a prophecy involving a mysterious sword, a sword powerful enough to turn its wielder into the greatest warrior in the universe. And when that power finally awakens, Adam will have to face an enemy who has been waiting for that moment for years, Skeletor. But before Adam becomes He-Man, before Eternia falls into chaos, and before he discovers what the sword is really capable of, we need to go back 15 years. That's where this story begins. On the distant planet of Eternia, the capital city of Eternos is protected by an enormous fortress called Castle Grayskull. The castle has stood for centuries, guarding an ancient magical sword. According to legend, the sword is meant for a hero who will appear when Eternia faces its greatest threat. When that day comes, the chosen warrior will take the sword, unlock its power, and save the planet. Until then, the sword remains under the protection of the sorceress, a powerful guardian connected to Castle Grayskull itself. Far away from the castle, another story is unfolding inside the royal palace. Prince Adam is growing up, and he is probably the least interested warrior in the entire kingdom. His mother, Queen Marlena, isn't exactly thrilled about that. She insists that Adam attend combat training under Duncan, the commander of the royal guard. Duncan's daughter, Teela, is already one of the best fighters in the kingdom. Adam, on the other hand, is hopeless. Teela defeats him almost immediately. Then King Randor arrives. Watching his son struggle only makes him more frustrated. Randor tells Adam that being a prince comes with responsibilities. Eternia is surrounded by enemies, and one day Adam may have to protect the people he loves. Adam doesn't want to hear it. Unfortunately, he doesn't have much time to argue. Enemy ships suddenly appear above Eternos City. The invasion has begun. Duncan orders the royal guard into action. The city's defenders fight back with everything they have. Ram Man charges through enemy forces using his incredible strength, while Man-at-Arms relies on advanced weapons and technology. Fisto tears through opponents with his enormous fists. Duncan heads toward the palace to protect the royal family. Inside, however, he runs into a much more dangerous problem: Trapjaw. The two warriors immediately clash. Duncan manages to injure him, but Trapjaw has a few tricks of his own. His mechanical arm transforms into a weapon, and before retreating, he attaches an explosive device to the palace wall. Duncan doesn't realize what is coming. Teela does. She reaches her father just in time, grabs him, and gets him out of the building moments before the explosion. But outside, things have gone even worse. Skeletor has reached King Randor. The king fights bravely, but Skeletor is simply too powerful. Randor is defeated. Skeletor declares himself the new ruler of Eternia. At Castle Grayskull, the sorceress feels the change immediately. The prophecy has begun. She takes the magical sword and gives it to Adam. There is no time to explain everything. Adam has to leave. Queen Marlena tries to defend her son while the sorceress opens a portal leading to another world, Earth. Adam steps through. The portal's energy is so powerful that the sword is ripped from his hand. Adam disappears through the gateway and falls into a lake on Earth. And just like that, Prince Adam is gone. 15 years pass. Adam is now an adult living an ordinary life in Oklahoma. To everyone around him, he's just a strange guy with a very unusual childhood story. During a date, Adam starts talking about Eternia. He tells the girl about Castle Grayskull, the royal family, the magical sword, and everything that happened to him as a child. She doesn't believe him. Honestly, who would? She leaves, convinced Adam is either making the whole thing up or has completely lost touch with reality. Things don't get much better when Adam returns home. His roommate Hussein listens to the story and comes to a similar conclusion. Maybe Adam experienced something traumatic as a child and built an entire fantasy around it. Adam doesn't agree. He knows what he saw, and more importantly, he has spent years searching for the sword. The next morning, he's supposed to be doing his job at a human resources office. Instead, he's searching the internet for clues about the missing weapon. His boss catches him and threatens to fire him. Then, Adam receives a message from someone he doesn't know. The message contains a single piece of information. The sword has been found. Adam immediately follows the lead. It takes him to a comic book store, and inside, he finally sees it. His sword. It's locked into the hands of a huge statue, almost as if someone deliberately placed it there. Adam grabs the weapon and pulls. Nothing. He pulls harder. Still, nothing. Then the statue tips forward and nearly crushes him. One of the customers starts recording the ridiculous scene on his phone. Adam doesn't care. After everything he's been through, he isn't about to walk away now. With one final effort, he manages to pull the sword free. For the first time in 15 years, he has it back. Adam is convinced that his powers are about to return. He raises the sword and recites the words he remembers from childhood. Nothing happens. No lightning, no transformation, nothing. The store owner is furious and tells Adam the sword isn't for sale. Adam takes it anyway and runs. For the first time in years, he actually feels hopeful. Unfortunately, that hope doesn't last long. The next morning, police arrest him for stealing the sword. But before they can take him very far, traffic comes to a complete standstill. People start running. Something is attacking the city. A creature called Beastman is tearing through the streets. When he notices Adam inside the police vehicle, he rips the door off. Adam grabs the sword and escapes through the broken window. Beastman follows. He throws whatever he can find at Adam and eventually sends him crashing into a truck. The sword flies out of Adam's hand. Adam is trapped. Beastman moves in for the attack. Then a gunshot hits the ground nearby. A woman steps into the fight. She's armed, skilled, and clearly knows exactly what she's doing. Within moments, she forces Beastman away from Adam and knocks him off the highway. Adam stares at her. He knows that face. It's Teela, his childhood friend. Teela explains that they detected the sword's signal. They've been searching for it, and now that they've found Adam, they need to get him back to Eternia. She takes him to a hidden ship. Adam doesn't have much choice. He boards. For the first time since he left Eternia, he's going home. But the place he remembers is gone. Eterno City has been devastated. The streets are ruined. The kingdom is barely standing, and Adam's parents are missing. He came back expecting answers. Instead, he finds the remains of his childhood, and he isn't the only one who knows he's returned. Triclops has followed them. The information eventually reaches Snake Mountain, where Skeletor learns the truth. The sword has resurfaced. Skeletor immediately orders his forces to recover it. Because ruling Eternia isn't enough for him anymore. He wants the power hidden inside Castle Grayskull. Adam and Teela reach a secret underground bunker and meet the remaining members of the Resistance. The guards aren't convinced that Adam is really Prince Adam. Adam tries to prove it with the only thing he has on him, his business card. It doesn't help. They take the sword away from him and throw both Adam and Teela into a cell, and that's where they discover Duncan. The once powerful commander is older now, defeated, and drunk. He's also being accompanied by Roboto, a powerful robotic warrior. Before Adam can make sense of the situation, the bunker comes under attack. Adam asks Roboto to get them out. Roboto slams into the prison door until it finally gives way. Teela tries to get Duncan moving, but he's in no condition to lead anybody. Roboto eventually gives up trying to convince him and simply carries him over his shoulder. Outside, Skeletor's forces have arrived. The bunker erupts into a massive battle. Ram Man is badly injured during the fight. Before returning to the battlefield, he hands Adam his sword. The group manages to escape into a cave, hoping they've bought themselves some time. They haven't. Trapjaw and his soldiers are already there. Adam tries to talk. Trapjaw isn't interested. He attacks, and Adam is knocked from the edge of a bridge. He's falling. Then Adam remembers the sword. He grabs it, and for the first time, he remembers the words the sorceress told him as a child. He raises the sword. By the power of Grayskull, lightning tears through the weapon. Energy explodes around Adam, and when the light fades, the frightened young man who hated fighting is gone. He-Man has arrived. Trapjaw's weapons are useless against him. Adam tears off the mechanical arm and turns it against the enemy. The others barely have time to react before they're escaping again. But Skeletor isn't letting them go. His fleet takes off after them. Teela's ship races through the sky as enemy vessels close in. One of them carries an enormous spinning saw and slices directly through the ship. Adam jumps onto an air bike and launches himself into the enemy formation. He lands on one of the ships, takes down its pilot, and keeps moving. Then the saw ship comes back. Adam catches the spinning blade with his bare hands. Using his strength, he forces the attacking vessel into another enemy ship. The collision sends both aircraft crashing down. Teela's ship doesn't survive the chase either. It loses control and eventually crashes into a forest. Back at the bunker, Skeletor uses his magic to interrogate the remaining guards. Eventually, they admit the truth. Adam is the legendary champion. Skeletor orders them captured. Meanwhile, Duncan discovers something he hasn't seen in years. His old Royal Guard armor. He puts it on. For the first time in a long time, Duncan looks like the warrior he used to be. Adam eventually wakes up and helps repair the damaged ship. His strength makes the job much easier. Afterward, he speaks with Teela. Adam's feelings for her are obvious. Teela doesn't see him that way. To her, he's still the friend she grew up with. Before the conversation can go anywhere, the sky changes. A giant, magical image of Skeletor appears above them. He makes Adam an offer. Give him the sword, and he'll release Adam's parents. Adam knows it could be a trap, but his father and mother are alive. That's enough. The group heads for Skeletor's fortress. They don't get far. Evil Lyn captures them at the gates. Adam is taken directly to Skeletor. King Randor is there too, being held prisoner. Skeletor demands the sword. Adam refuses. He takes on Skeletor's warriors by himself and overwhelms them. He even grabs Goatman and throws him out of the fight. For the first time, Randor sees what his son has become, and he's proud. Then Evil Lyn freezes Adam with magic. Skeletor threatens Randor. Adam loses control. He breaks free and releases a massive blast of energy. Unfortunately, the attack strikes the ceiling. Rocks collapse around them. Randor is trapped beneath the rubble. Adam lifts the enormous pile of stone and pulls his father free, but it's too late. Randor looks at his son and apologizes. Then he dies in Adam's arms. Adam is shattered. Skeletor attacks while he's distracted and knocks him unconscious. When Adam wakes up, the transformation is gone. He's human again. He's also imprisoned beside his mother. Skeletor has taken the sword. He tries to activate it himself. Nothing happens. Evil Lyn realizes why. The sword's true power can only be awakened at its original pedestal inside Castle Grayskull. Skeletor immediately heads there with his army. Adam and Duncan are left behind. For a moment, neither of them has anything left. Then Adam remembers something Duncan told him years ago. Never give up. That's enough. Adam decides that if this is the end, they're going to fight anyway. And then Teela arrives. She's brought someone with her, Cringer. Except Cringer isn't the same little tiger Adam remembers. He can talk, and he's grown into a powerful magical creature. Seeing his old friend gives Adam the push he needs. He turns to the others and tells them something he's only just begun to understand. Power isn't about one person standing above everyone else. It's about people standing together. The group attacks the prison door. Roboto uses everything he has. The door finally breaks, but freedom doesn't mean safety. Skeletor's army is waiting outside. The Royal Guard fights back. They push through the enemy forces, take control of several ships, and begin their assault on Eternia City. The city becomes a battlefield once again. While the Royal Guard fights below, Adam, Teela, and Duncan head toward Castle Grayskull. Duncan stays behind to defend the bridge. Adam enters the castle with Cringer. Inside, Adam reminds Cringer that being afraid doesn't make him weak. Courage means moving forward anyway. Elsewhere, Skeletor finally reaches the pedestal. He places the sword into position. Adam arrives just in time. Cringer attacks the guards while Adam charges toward the sword. He reaches it before Skeletor can fully unlock its power. Across the castle, Teela finds Evil Lyn. The two women engage in a powerful magical battle. Outside, Beastman attacks Cringer, but this time, Cringer isn't running. He catches Beastman's weapon in his teeth and slams him into the ground. On the bridge, Duncan and Roboto are surrounded. The enemy keeps coming. Then the structure beneath them begins to collapse. Trapjaw arrives in a ship and attacks Roboto. Roboto takes heavy damage. Duncan sees his friend in danger and jumps aboard the enemy vessel. He fights Trapjaw inside the ship and eventually defeats him. The ship is destroyed. When Duncan returns, he discovers that Roboto's head is still functioning. At least one thing went right. Inside Castle Grayskull, Adam finally comes face to face with Skeletor. The two unleash their powers against each other. The energy becomes too intense. The magical sword shatters. Skeletor is left holding only the handle. He laughs. Then he attacks Adam's mind. The world around Adam disappears. Suddenly, he's back on Earth. His ordinary job is still there. His failed relationships are still there. Everything he experienced in Eternia begins to feel like a fantasy he created to escape his real life. Skeletor tells him the truth, or at least what he wants Adam to believe. Eternia isn't real. Adam isn't a hero. He's just an ordinary man who invented a story because reality wasn't enough. For a moment, Adam believes him. Then a bird appears. Adam recognizes it. The bird is actually the sorceress. She tells him something he never understood about the sword. The power was never really inside it. The sword was only a key. The real power was Adam himself, his humanity, his courage, his willingness to protect the people he loves. That's what makes him worthy. Adam raises his hand. This time, the magic doesn't come from the sword. It comes from within him. Energy fills his body. His wounds begin to heal. The broken pieces of the sword rise from the ground and fly back together. Adam opens his eyes. He breaks free from Skeletor's illusion. He raises the restored sword. By the power of Grayskull. This time, there is no hesitation. Adam transforms completely. He-Man has finally reached his full power. The energy from his transformation spreads throughout Eternia City. Even now, Adam doesn't want to kill Skeletor. He tells him that he understands what real power means. It's not about hurting everyone who stands in your way. Skeletor attacks anyway. One blast after another crashes into Adam. Adam doesn't move. He blocks the attacks and keeps advancing. Skeletor throws everything he has left at him. It isn't enough. Adam finally takes Skeletor's staff and channels so much energy through it that the weapon begins to break apart. The staff explodes. Skeletor's power disappears with it. Evil Lyn sees what's happening and escapes. Adam and the others make it out of Castle Grayskull. The battle is over, for now. 6 months later, Eternia City has been rebuilt. Queen Marlena has taken her place as the new ruler of Eternia. Roboto has been given a completely new body, and Hussein has finally made his way to Eternia. For the first time, he sees the truth with his own eyes. Adam wasn't crazy. Everything he told him was real. Before Hussein can fully process it, an emergency signal sounds. Adam knows what it means. He picks up the sword. The familiar energy returns, and and once again, he becomes He-Man. Cringer transforms alongside him, and the two race toward the next threat. Eternia still needs its champion. Queen Marlena continues to hope that her other child will someday return, and somewhere deep in the forest, a mysterious girl appears. She's holding a sword almost identical to Adam's. Who is she, and where did she get that weapon? We don't get the answer. Not yet. Back inside Castle Grayskull, another mystery is waiting. Evil Lynn finds Skeletor's fallen skull. She picks it up, which can only mean one thing. Skeletor may have lost the battle, but his story probably isn't over, and that's where the story ends. With Eternia rebuilt, a new mystery waiting to unfold, and the possibility that an even bigger threat is still out there. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like the video, leave your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more movie stories.